Tuna wageni watatu, Mheshimiwa Sebastian Kapufi mbunge, ambao ni wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani, karibuni sana.
Container packed with supplies that need to make their way to families in Africa like yesterday. You said this is a 53-foot trailer? This trailer is packed with medical supplies destined to the motherland. We need to help get these out of here.
All right. Well, shalom, salama, siyemi, shalom. Greetings to all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world, whether you're the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel, or you're a Gentile grafted into the house under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach, I welcome you this morning on the Fundraising Week finale, which is taking place on our usual Q2UA discussions live. And so this week, we dedicated that to fundraising efforts for Quest to Unite Africa. We focused on the power of strategic partnerships and how that empowerment just within our community creates a construct of self realization. And when I say that, that's just also it's also self-determination. Because the power of working within yourself, with your groups, with your people, let me tell you, they tried for years to limit that. And so, as we are beginning to come together in the African diaspora, the continent is beginning to come together. And if you didn't understand the dynamics, we hold a lot of the keys to the continent's success. We do. That's what we do here on in the background at Quest to Unite Africa on a daily basis. That's what we do with coordinating with our brothers and sisters on the ground on a daily basis. That's the work that we do here. A lot of people may not see the work, but the work is being done. And it's being done effectively because we have the Most High moving doors and creating relationships that is pivotal to not just nation building, but also kingdom building. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'll introduce to you all Nature's Legacy Garden. If you all would like to introduce yourselves.
Good morning. Do you hear feedback?
Yes, we do.
Hold on. Do you still hear feedback?
No, you're better. Go ahead,
Oh,
Sis Coco G.
okay. Good morning, everyone. And I'd like to say a big thank you and shout out to Quest Unite Africa for allowing us to come on. And big ups to the promotions this week. Greatly appreciated.
Good morning. This is Sister Ashley. Thank you so much for allowing Nature's Legacy Garden to come on today. The promotion this week has been absolutely amazing. And so it's just an honor and a pleasure to be on.
And everyone knows who I am. So thank you again.
All right. Well, we've been doing the promos for our strategic partnerships, and I want everyone to listen to what it is. This is one of them. This is one of them. Yesterday, we talked about Coco G, Brother Mike Roebuck, and needing beta testers. Brother Red dropped that link in the chat yesterday. But I'd like to have you all talk about your partnership and what that means in terms of training our brothers and sisters in a Hebrew green thumb or brown thumb, however you want to call it.
For us, we're looking to bring our community together, to educate us in a time of famine. Not only spiritual famine, but we know what's coming down the pike where it comes to food shortages. We want to empower our people to come together and start growing, not only as a community, but learning to feed one another physically. And in that process, coming together spiritually and serving the Most High in the process by feeding our people and teaching them to cultivate the earth from which He created us from. Do you want to add anything to that, Ashley?
Well, yes, Karis, it is. It's both a green thumb and a brown thumb. So, the whole holistic part of this was actually engineered by Coco G, myself, and Brother Fastnickel. And yes, it is really about serving our community and serving our people. A lot of times when people go in and they decide, as in the higher powers or the higher authorities, decide that they want to destroy and remove things that weren't naturally supposed to be removed according to the way the Most High grows things, then we have a problem. And so for us to be able to go in to educate our people is really our servant's heart, trying to give back and to do what we've been called to do, and that is to really serve and help our people. So we're extremely excited about this project. And, the cheerleader that was on this week, Sister Shar, I tell you what, oh my goodness. She is so excited for us along with the Quest team. And so we are just greatly appreciated of being here.
Well, I know that for myself, I'm kind of like the one person here that everybody's like, well, why is he here? And, I actually had no interest in being a part of Nature's Legacy Garden. And as Coco was asking me things, and, they need a website, they need this, they need that. And then I saw what they were doing. I changed my tune. And one thing I will say, just to piggyback on what Coco said, is, what everybody that's listening and that's part of Q2A has to remember is that the majority of friends and family have no clue of what's coming. So the importance of growing your own food or understanding that process, you're going to have a lot of people coming to you looking for your aid, no different than the people coming to Joseph, because they're not going to really know where else to go. So it's going to be imperative for those, like I said, who's on this call or who listens to Brother Karis's show on a daily basis to really uh, begin to think about how they need to begin becoming self-sustaining, because like I said, friends and family are going to be coming to them with questions and what to do.
Absolutely. Um, absolutely. I want to kind of touch in on some things that um, a lot of folks may or may not realize when you are thinking about agriculture. Here in the United States, our agriculture is relatively it's processed. As Brother Fast Nickel and I see on firsthand basis here in more or less the central part of Florida. You go out to the country about what 15-20 minutes, Brother Fast Nickel, and you'll see orchards and farms and other places here um, that the produce is being picked. The fruits and the vegetables are being picked. They're getting loaded up. They're getting processed. They're getting washed. They're getting sprayed with some sort of chemicals. That's what they do here in the United States to keep it, looking nice and fresh.
That's true. But the other thing that I'm seeing, especially over here in more towards the East Orlando area, is a lot of these farms are being bought up and turned into housing.
Hmm.
And so now there's even less farmland.
Well, yeah, that's the plan. But I wanted to go back because the way the anecdote was is we see the short trips, right, from the farm to the processing center, right, or I'd say fields to the processing centers, then those processing centers to the grocery stores. And it's done in a relatively shorter manner. That's the supply chain that we have here in the United States. And that supply chain, as Brother Fast Nickel was saying, it's shrinking. On the continent, they don't have that supply chain. And I've had the pleasure of seeing that from uh, East Africa with Brother Mike, and then in Burkina Faso. And in terms of the vegetation, especially I'm going to say in Burkina Faso, one of the things that I noticed, and I talked to Brother Fast Nickel, Sister Coco G about this, was land restoration and just how important land restoration is when sometimes you may not have to, you may not planning to have fruit and vegetables. Sometimes you're just planning so that you can then have a plant that helps to fight desertification. What are your thoughts on that? How, because I want people to understand what this will grow to, because being able to, yes, number one, have food on the table, but then number two, having and developing an ecological ecosystem. What are your thoughts on that?
I would have Ashley answer that question. She's more.
Yes. Well, okay, so you hit the hammer on the nail. Let's just say this. Okay, so over here, we were taught with the Western mindset on how to grow food. Okay. And so what you have is you have a breakdown of a system, right? And so when you go over to other continents, um, because they have been depleted from whether it be colonization to having machinery over a course of time, destroy soil, okay? A bunch of erosion that happens when you don't have a system, a network, which is what soil is. It's a living organism, okay? And this living organism has to have all of the right nutrients, minerals, and the things that the way that the Most High has created it to be put back in it. So Our purpose and goal is to go back to the beginning, like Coco G said, to the very beginning, to the roots of what we can see biblically, the way the Most High has set the system up to be. So I always say, and this is a catchphrase that we have been talking about in Nature's Legacy Garden. We say healthy soil is healthy trees. When you have healthy trees, you have clean water. When you have clean water, you have clean food, you have healthy people. And so when you have barren land, the very first thing you know, because we know it's a living organism, soil is all around us, then of course, naturally, carbon is necessary. You know, they talk about the carbon footprint. Let me remove the carbon footprint. Well, what are you talking about here?
Mm-hmm.
You might as well say you're removing us.
Yeah.
Because we're soil. And so, and this is the passion that's coming out. So bear with me. But yeah. And so when you're talking about removing something that the Most High has created in the very beginning, carbon, chlorophylls in the leaves, trees that are reservoirs. And so this is what we want to do. We want to go in and be able to take medicinal plants and flowers and all these things once the soil begins to function like it's supposed to, and build it up and make it lush and share this with our people. And so that's just, I don't know if I answered your question, but that's just the passion in me, you know, and what's coming out. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no, absolutely. Let me kind of tell you. Excuse me. Um, when I grew up, I grew up in South Jersey from the time I was 5 years old to about 14 years old, and in South Jersey, my grandmother had about 6 or 7 acres of land, and she would always have it farmed, right? The soil would go. There would be times she would let the land rest for it was about one. I saw that once because my grandmother was from South Carolina, and so she loved to ensure that we had the sweet potatoes, the corn, the green beans, things of that nature. And if she was coming up on that 6 year mark, right? She would have the bushels. She'd can it. She'd put those cans in the basement, things of that nature.
Right.
But I distinctly remember she would have the compost, and not just the compost, but she would also, burn the little sticks and things of that nature.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
then with burning that stuff, people are like, oh, don't burn. You have a burn ban and things like that. Nah, when she burned it, this is the same with my uncle who's in Ocala. He can't really do that now, but they would burn their leaves, and then what's burnt, what's left over, guess what they do? They would use that potash.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's it.
And the saddest thing about everything that they say of, no, you need to learn these farming techniques and this technique, and you need to do it this way and that way, um it's actually totally erroneous. And I don't really pretend to have a green thumb, but I know how to grow stuff. And I have my little garden going here in my little apartment for a good 2 years. And I would be getting the little cherry tomatoes and things of that nature. I just had to let the garden go because honestly, I just didn't like all the bugs that it would that it would attract. I mean, that was just me, you
But
know.
that's it, Karis. You don't need that much area
Mm-mm.
to grow food for
No.
yourself. You could have a patio, a backyard, anywhere.
Yep. The thing is, and I didn't use the whole patio. I only used about 6 feet by about 3 feet. That
That's
was it.
enough.
That was
That
it.
That's enough to get started.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm not saying that you have to burn stuff, but you have to understand the Most High, when you read the word about, having the land do what? Having the land heal itself. This
Yes.
place, the land does not heal. And
No, it
I'm
does
gonna
not.
and I'm gonna tell you this. Um, when you're over in the sub-Saharan continent, I believe, this is my personal feeling, I believe that when you're seeing all the things in the Saharan and things of that nature, that was a direct result of not being able to let a land heal, not being able to let a land be reestablished. And that
Right.
has a lot of environmental issues, right? If you
That's why
don't,
in the seventh year, we're told to let the land rest.
exactly. Exactly. Let the land rest. Let the trees. You got to let things grow wild.
You
Let it
do.
grow. And and
Absolutely.
and and when my brother and I would see that, and we'd say to our grandmother, like, Nana, why are you just letting everything, like, do you see all the acres and everything else? And my grandmother would say, it's fine. We're gonna till the ground. We're gonna rake it all up next year. We're gonna let that topsoil get exposed a bit. We'll get all the rough parts on out. It's like we're gonna burn it down. And when I saw that and understood that as a young child, all I thought about was, wow, we're gonna set things on fire. As a kid, what, you're gonna set things on what? I mean, that was the most interesting thing, because you don't set things on fire every day. But it showed me that you have to have those elements together. And the what I see here in Florida, they do that. You know what they do? They set
Mm-hmm.
brush on fire. And when they set brush on fire, it becomes a natural reset. A lot of the brush that they set on fire is either intentional or it's not intentional. What they do
Right.
is they're not just going to go on out and try to fight the fire. No, they let the fire burn to a certain point, and guess what? They have fire break lines. And if you don't know what fire break lines are, it's basically dirt that they clear on out.
Mm-hmm.
They'll use a bulldozer, they'll use some sort of a clearing mechanism, a tractor, and then they just basically till up the land so that you can't burn anything. It hits the sand and the sandy parts here, and that's what they do. So a lot of the things, people are trying to say, oh, it's pollution, it's this and that. And I would honestly argue that pollution was started because of their lack of proper forestry tactics.
Yes.
Yes.
What
But
what
not only
what say
that,
you? Go ahead.
so not only that, um, with the land restoration, but we have other things coming down the pike where it has to do with herbalism and foraging. These are in combination with the land
Mhm,
restoration. These are things that we need to know as a people.
We do.
mhm,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, it's important what you just said about the burning, because
Mm-hmm.
there are laws in certain states that allow this to happen. And I happen to live in one of them. And notice in those states, if there are fires, there are not many,
mhm,
because really the whole purpose for Smokey the Bear was really actually how he prevented forest fires, as you know, Smokey the Bear,
Mm-hmm.
was to set fire, to burn brush, so
mhm,
that adds the carbon and it resets the land. And so yes, like Coco said, these classes are essential. They are important. And so herbalism, Coco and I, we're going to be doing a permaculture class coming up really soon. And so we have all these things lined up because we want to serve our people, and we want to be able to allow them to be able to take what they learn and take the knowledge that they learned and use it in a practical application. And so that's important to us. Yes.
You know, and I'll just piggyback to remind people what Bill Gates is doing, what Monsanto is doing. They are creating seeds that don't allow multiplication. You know, they're sterile, and so growing your own food is going to allow you to have your own seeds that are able to procreate and not be sterile. And so that's something, another thing to remember, because they they don't want you to doing this stuff. They don't want you knowing about this information.
Mm-mm. Yeah, no, absolutely. So, number one, you have improper um, land development practices, and we're talking about agricultural land development. And then number two, you actually have genetically modified organisms, GMO, that then do not produce.
Right.
And again, if you're
Non-viable seeds.
exactly, and your seed is what? That is the key to life. So if you're not even eating anything healthy, then guess what? You won't be healthy.
Absolutely. And that's the purpose. That's really the purpose. And so, and so that's why, also with herbalism, we have Ariel, who has joined our team, my daughter, Ariel, who has joined our team, and she has a lot of knowledge when it comes to herbalism. And we think that this is also a key to learning about our health, our bodies, the things that our bodies need. And she's actually, Coco and Fast Nickel wanted her to join in on this conversation. And so she's here, so yeah, but it's vital. It's vital. If we don't learn these things, we are at the point where the Most High is really telling us to wake up. Like literally, you have to see what's going on around in your environment. And if you're not able to even function in your environment or go into a grocery store and know that you're not getting something fruit bearing seed, if it doesn't have a seed in it, then you already know there's an issue and there's a problem. And so we have Nature's Legacy Garden. Coco has added in the herbalism part of it. And so, yes, my daughter is here, Ariel. So, yes.
Okay.
I just want to say shalom. That's it.
Shalom, Ari.
So, yeah, because we're gonna go back to why that seed is important, why germination is important, right? If you're reproducing life, then guess what? You're reproducing your cells when you're eating food. And we can't go into all of the we're not doctors. No one here is a doctor. We're not giving out medical advice, nor are we pretending any cures. That's not what we're doing. But what any doctor will tell you is if you're eating fruits and vegetables, if you're eating something that is non processed, right? Non-enriched, because enriched actually just means it's stripped. I hate when people say, "Oh, it got enriched." Like, do you realize enriched means that they just stripped the chemical down and all they did was put more chlorine, which is salt, and then they whatever nutrients that was there is no longer there. You may
Yep.
have some nutrients, but it's not really beneficial. Go ahead.
Right. It's synthetic.
Mm-hmm. So the question I would ask is, how are you all getting seeds? What are you providing, especially when you're doing this class? Will folks get seeds mailed out to them? Are you even able to mail out seeds? I mean, there's been such a war on food, as we've discussed this many a times, with the FDA. We've been discussing a business plan of trying to bring food back to the United States from the continent. And oh man, the board comes back at me, you know, with ferocity. Ask Sister Princess. She's been on that conversation.
Do you want to talk about the seed bank that you have, Ash?
Oh, that is awesome. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so let's see. I have a seed bank. I
Mm,
started my seed bank ooh, about 3 years ago because what I was seeing is, of course, naturally you go into a grocery store and, like we said, you see the GMOs, nothing with seed. And so, as I started to first order, and I got a prescription to I don't know how many seed companies,
mhm.
that I am like in communication with and talking with. And so I took a seed preservation class, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago. And so I saw the necessity of seeds. And so I began to collect seeds, different types of seeds, barley seeds, wheat, all types of seeds I have. And so what I decided to do is to categorize it and organize it. And so what Coco is suggesting that we do, because it's important as an organic farmer to connect with all of the different farmers.
Yes,
Um, and so if there's a need for a seed, we contact people. We're going to develop relationships with these people so that when it's necessary for us to be able to take the seeds that we have, to be able to use the seeds. And so I have an abundance of seeds that I have even saved when I was growing my own gardens and on different lands and stuff. So yeah, that's necessary. I know Coco is going to be, she already has a seed preservation study guide for kids, and also she is going to be teaching a seed preservation to a class as well, so that people can be educated on how to save their seeds, how to
yes.
preserve their seeds. This is necessary because yes, the powers that be, as whatever you call them, they are trying to destroy the original heirloom seed, and so it's necessary for us to have them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So that's what you will get. That's one of the classes that you will have. Why don't you tell us about the classes and where people can sign up? If you have the link, just put it in the chat for me, and I can post that.
Well, they should go to questioniteafrica.org, and when they get to the homepage, they'll see the banner that they can click to sign up.
Okay. So let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen.
And remember, half the proceeds goes back to Quest Unite Africa. So do go to their website and sign up that way.
So I'm sharing my screen. This is on the questuniteafrica.org homepage. When you are here, you'll see the beginning of the homepage with our awesome graphic designer. And then right below that first banner, you see the the what is it, video ad banner
Yes.
that is there, and that's where you click on to get signed up. So please visit that. right now, because let me just tell you, and I don't want to be um I don't want to be the sign up because you're gonna it's doom and gloom on out there. No. Sign up because why? Because you will learn an invaluable resource for your family. You'll learn how to work the land. And I'm sorry. You're not going to learn how to work the land from any of these practices that they do. You just don't. I remember years ago um I used to do those little like Saturday classes and stuff at like Home Depot and Lowe's. They'll have the little workshops. And it's like, hey, you do this, you can do your little garden workshops. And I'm gonna tell you, when I owned my home out here in Florida, right on the side of my house was my garden. We had eggplants, we had peppers, we had tomatoes, oregano, other things that we could pick fresh. We even had the almost kind of like a little hydroponic effect where we did the little shelving that we did gutters and we put it on our fence, and in that fence we had the drip lines so we could grow like onions and leeks and things of that nature. So yeah, it was nice to just go on out there, pick something, pick some fresh herbs and things of that nature. You don't have to go too far into that, but what we had to understand was your soil is your soil, but you will always have to treat it right with some sort of nitrates or nutrient rich soils. Yeah, you can, they had the Miracle Grow, but let me tell you, that Miracle Grow is even harsh for most plants. Is that a correct assumption?
Yes, I absolutely cannot stand Miracle Grow
Mm-hmm.
because Miracle, right? It is a commercial, really a commercial soil, commercial fertilizer. Basically,
Exactly.
really it is, and that's not a holistic approach to restoring your soil. It's not.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No. So what we would do, we would actually get topsoil, and then topsoil, we actually would dig out some of the soil that was already kind of left or had some decomposed to it. So whatever was decomposing, right? We just kind of put it into the side of a corner, as our kind of our decompose, or our compost area. And
Yes.
from there, that's we would shovel things up, shovel it on up, mix it on up, and then we would layer it on out because it would retain the nutrients of the decomposing vegetables that had been, that had some either spoilage or things of that nature. Even if you have, and this is why I tell people, even if you have spoilage, right? Or, the worms may have gotten to it because of this or that, who knows, right? You may have 10% of your crop that may have, the ants or the worms get to it. The other 90% will be okay. Those 10%, put it off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And when you put it off to the side, let them do what they do, because when they're processing it, those the refuse is literally nutrient rich because they've added their stuff to it when they digested it. They've added their enzymes.
Yes.
So
Let
Absolutely.
me let me just add. I think Brother Karras is auditioning to be a part of Nature's Legacy Garden. He knows a lot about gardening.
I know how to go. Look,
You hear it.
I
Yes,
know
you
how to
hear it, don't you?
Yeah, I know how to garden. Look, my garden was thriving. I said I had to get rid of it because I was on the apartment. And man, I'm telling you, because you have that thing on out there, every single bug was just trying to get through the little screen because they saw that my stuff was nice and organic,
Right.
non-GMO seeds. I still have some. I still have them. I still have non-GMO seeds. I just haven't gotten the pots yet to get them planted and things of that nature. Oh yeah, cucumber seeds.
Yes.
I'd hang up the cucumbers. I'd hang up the cantaloupes. You know, I put those in stockings and I have them on the little trellis that I have. Oh yeah, no, my garden was straight.
Wow.
Yeah,
Compact gardening.
yeah, no,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, if I really wanted to, and again, if I really wanted to, I used to love, getting six or what is it, the 2x12s. I used to get the 2x12s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where that thing is a foot high, and then I just what would I do? I did the little metal brackets,
Right.
and then have
It's
that
just
thing gridded out. Yeah,
Brother Carrots, it's just knowing where your food comes from and knowing
exactly.
that they're not treated with
Right.
pesticides.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and it's nice.
Mhm.
It's nice when you actually pick the food. You can rinse it on off, especially when you had the little cherry tomatoes and things of that nature. Man, I never really liked to have tomatoes until I grew my own tomatoes.
And they're the best tomatoes.
Isn't that crazy? When you grow your own stuff, like when I had my cucumbers, and you can taste the freshness because look, I talk to my plants.
That's right.
I talk to them. And
Yes.
those suckers would spring up. I'd see the little flower. Next thing I know, that thing would turn green with the little tomato. I'd be talking to them like, there you go. Good job. I see that. I look all crazy, but guess what? They responded to it.
Well, the few people that I knew that had gardens, their vegetables would always be bigger and sweeter.
Yes. Yeah. That's how it was. That's how it was. And yes, I mean, you can do it. Even with close quarters, you can do it. You can do pots. Get your pots on out there. Get your
Yes.
yeah, the little not spikes, but the little posts that you have. They have the little spiral post or the straight post. You can do it. Look, as those vines are creeping on up, you just assist it.
Mm-hmm.
You assist them coming up to give them support because those things will creep on you. It's just that when it gets to the wall, then what those vines will do will be they'll start getting into the into the concrete, and you don't want to have that happen because then it will just, you know, um, it'll mess some things up. I'm not trying to be paying for damages at this apartment.
Well, if you don't mind, let me add something to this that that we haven't talked about. And that is when we were talking about Nature's Legacy Garden, the one thing that we did was we formed an LLC.
Hmm.
And the reason we did so is because Ashley has a number of certifications. And by us being an LLC, if you notice on the banner, it says get certified. So although we're talking about growing your own food, one of the things that these classes are going to do is at the end, we have a test. And those that want to take that test to become certified, they they can now become certified and do their own thing because we are official. We're
Hmm.
not just putting something together, a class here and there for someone to just learn about garden. I mean, we've gone ahead and set up an actual business, LLC, etc.
I'm glad you brought that up, Brother Fast Nickel. I was just hoping that you, or maybe Sister Ashley, can go into kind of like what the format of the class will be, when it's going to be, and the duration of the class, and what we would expect to learn from the class, just as a little bit of extra substance for everyone listening that can't get to the website today?
Yes. Shalom, Sister Princess. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I've been sitting in the background
Right,
absorbing
right.
all of what you are all saying.
Yes. Okay. So this is a 10-week course, and I'm so excited because the very first thing we're going to do, and I think it's necessary because we know we already are going to get people who have a knowledge of gardening. Absolutely. And that's what we are welcoming. Okay. And so gardening 101 will be the foundation. Okay. So it starts out with just basic stuff about soil, container gardening, little bases of information that you would need for someone who wants to actually start gardening. There will be a lot of terminology words in this. We have a lot of resources, and we're going to be adding some. Uncle G and I thought it would be good to add some couple of documentaries in there that you guys could see, and then from there we're going to progress and go to the next level, which would be land restoration. Starting off talking about barren land and how to build upon it. And then once you build upon your barren land, then what types of trees, shrubs, vegetation would help to keep the land fertile and keep it sustainable for years to come. So it is a lot of information. And the good thing, once again, is that part of these proceeds will go to Quest to Unite Africa. And we're hoping to get, Coco and I have talked about it. She actually brought this up. She said it would be good for us to, in this process, for people that have a passion for this, that if they want to build a team of 6 or 7 people who can be able to take the information and actually go wherever it's necessary and apply it and teach others. Because Karis did say, and I've been hearing this all week, reach one, teach one, so as a community, you want to be able to, I want to be able to take what I know. Coco wants to be able to take what she understands and knows and share it with others so that they can be able to take that and teach someone else. And so that's pretty much the course.
And we're looking to build a team.
Yes.
So
yes.
that we can, if need be, we're over there on the continent doing the work.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Let me kind of piggyback off of that, because part of what Garth and I were able to see on the continent, and it is a very, very I'm going to say people intrinsic, right? People focused policies that is happening in Burkina Faso right now. Their main goals are to create more functional land that is being restored so it can fight back desertification. That it was one of their major projects. I told sisters Ashley and Coco G, I said I'm sorry, because that was one of the things that Garth and I were there. They unfortunately it wasn't it wasn't segmented. It was kind of like everybody was kind of scattered to the winds. And I said I couldn't get there, but I got the contact for the person. So we're going to be getting that together so we can get established within the the proper framework for the Burkinabe. They like to do their things, very very segmented. And so I said, once we're able to kind of clear up some bandwidth, I met with the person, and here's the thing: everything on the continent is so big, it's so vast. There's really no competition. Nobody has to compete with one another. It's too big, it's too vast. But what they want to know, especially these farmers, they want to know the techniques to beat back this desertification. They want to know how to manage their land so then they can utilize the full resources that they have together. And so, for them, any bit of knowledge helps. And that knowledge, it continues to grow, because here's the thing: those are business opportunities. Let me show you how to do and get these bushels. And in these bushels, let me get 10% back. So then we can get those here, get that there. You understand? That's the key to this consulting thing. We're sharing the knowledge. So then everybody learns together and everybody gains together. I know it's kind of revolutionary, because why? Because we've been told, oh, just grab what you need to grab. No, learn, help, do, respond. And in doing so, guess what you're getting ready to do? You're getting ready to now have the growth. Because trust me, they want to grow with you. They do. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. I've been running my mouth. Go ahead.
So one of the things that we're looking to do is actually building schools, agricultural schools. And that's why we want to build the team,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to teach on the continent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. This education is key. And that as much as we get beat down in the West, I'm telling you, we are in a place where we are highly educated. And when I tell you we are highly educated, our knowledge is a wealth. Because we can see things, we can say, "Oh, we can turn that around. Oh, I know the person who can knock this on out. I know the people." You may not even know the actual practices. You may not even be certified, but all you need to know is, I know somebody that can help. That's it.
Yeah, I can definitely hear like the excitement that Sister Coco G and Ashley that you're bringing, especially just when you're talking about all of the opportunities that can come out for learning something like, as simple as the process. And then to top it off, there's a certification that you can get. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the journey that you started on, and where it will end up. I mean, I think this is definitely essential for everyone. We should all know how to grow our own food. Um, I think that we should understand, the intricacies that goes into sustainable gardening. Because we just don't know what type of resources we'll have at some point in time, and just being able to use resources and repurpose things is a blessing. So I'm excited for what you all are bringing to the table.
And I just want to add this. If it wasn't for Quest to Unite Africa, we wouldn't be here. We were sitting down one day in a cultural engagement meeting, and I heard Ashley speaking on growing things and about how excited she was about agriculture. And it was like the Most High put in my spirit, connect with her and work this out. And we're here today. So I've gained a business partner, and also out of it, I wound up getting a husband. Hey, I'm just saying, everyone just needs to come and volunteer. You never know what you'll get out of this experience.
You never know.
Well, if it wasn't for Coco G, I'm telling you what, those two, they are really, Coco G is actually the mastermind behind Nature's Legacy Garden because she approached me. And so, like she was saying, I gained a friend, I gained a sister, I gained a brother in Fast Nickel. He is on top of us all the time. We may be clowning in meetings, but I tell you what, he is the one that comes and brings the hammer, and he has to get us back on track because Coco and G and I can go in some different areas. But anyway, and it's been a pleasure to
We're the
be able to.
cackling hens.
Yes, right. That's what he calls us. And so it's just really been a pleasure for them to, see the vision and the heart. And so really the heart is to be able to feed a nation of our people. And that has been a prayer that's been in my spirit and her spirit. Oh, I don't know, since a long time, and to be able to add the other classes. And then on top of that, to be able to add herbalism on top of that has been absolutely amazing because she wants everyone to learn all of the courses that we are offering, that team that she's talking about.
Do you all want to kind of go over a little bit of herbalisms, and let me just kind of caveat this for our people, okay? Herbalism is the process of using herbs so you are healthy. Okay, it's a process so you can be healthy using the herbs. All right, we're not going to say that they are cures, okay, because YouTube will give us those hits, medical misinformation, yada yada yada. But no, when you're drinking teas, when you have, different herbs and remedies that you are cooking with, those will help you in terms of fighting off different ailments. They can help with different ailments. They can actually help with restoring health, not cures, but it can help to restore health. So now that I did the caveat, if you want to add on to it,
Can we have Ariel come to the plate?
Yes. Shalom, shalom, everyone. My name's Ariel. I'm Ashley's daughter. I'm a clinical herbalist. I've been doing this for some years now, and it's really been a passion and inspired by the Most High Himself. A long time ago, I was like, okay, Father, what do you want me to do with my life? Like, what do you want me to do for your people? And slowly, He began to reveal to me that His people need healing. His people need a way to incorporate it into their daily lives, really. So the key word is help, for sure. It's if you incorporate these herbs into your daily routine, into your life, so long ago, our culture has been stripped from us, and herbs were actually a part of that. It was a part of a form of therapy, really. Um, Having a less Western mindset where it's just like, okay, um, just a quick fix. Really, it's a form of therapy, everyday life, and so we want to incorporate these classes. Herbalism 101 is one of the classes coming up in the fall. And that is just the basics. What I wish I learned in the most simplest form. So it's the basics, but also it's expounding in a way to where you understand it, but also it expands your mind, um, and with no fluff, essentially. Because over the years of studying and self-studying, there was fluff here and there, and I'm like, okay, we need to bring this to the forefront so that our people can really take autonomy, take the power back that the Most High gave us through His green herbs that He gave us to help ourselves, and I think that's really important. And then along with that, in the spring will come foraging 101. Foraging that's my baby as well. I'll say that because it's important to know not only how to use the herbs, for yourself and for your family, but also how to be able to identify it with your own eye, and see, okay, wow, I can go to any part of the world, any region, and realize, okay, these plants are related, and I can use this for this. So really, again, it's teaching our people how to um, use what the Most High gave us, for just basically the overall well-being of our community, and that's what the classes are all about.
All right. Thank you, Ariel. Because yes, people are asking about what herbs can be used. You can. There's a plethora. I know oil of oregano, especially if you do the herbs, you can turn the herbs into oils because
Yes.
all plants, when they are in that non-dried out state, you
Hmm.
can actually then treat that to get the oils on out of there. And I don't know if you're going to touch in on that methodology.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely. Absolutely. So, our people will be learning how to make oils. Yeah, oils from herbs that you can take internally. You can also turn that into a salve and take that, do that externally. You'll be learning how to make a tincture, learning how to make just what they call kitchen sink herbs, which is like vinegars, things that you can pull from your cabinet and, okay, hey, I can make this for my home out of whatever's available to me. And, touching on the importance of organic, you know, that as well, the importance of not just fast, and this ties into agriculture itself, the conversation that was had a little earlier, how that's important as well. So yeah, oil of oregano is one of the things that will be taught as well.
mhm. Okay, good. Someone had asked earlier in the chat. They asked about pesticides, and so the natural pesticide that I use, it's mint. I was always told that mint actually helps to keep little bugs and pests away.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that to me is a natural pesticide. I know off the top of my head. If anybody wants to, answer that without, giving away, I would say this. Listen, I gave you that piece of advice from me for free, but you're gonna have to sign up at that website. Okay, listen. Listen, some things you just gonna have to invest the time, your resources, and
Yes.
and getting that information and getting all the information, because it's more than just mints. It is. It's more than just mints. But
Yes.
this is what they're here for. You're
Yes.
helping your community to do what? To help your community.
You can also use lactic acid from milk, dilute that, and spray onto leaves to
Yes.
help control mold.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Biodiversity in your garden always helps. Sage,
Mm.
herbs,
Mm-hmm.
adding herbs into planting those in there, garlic, onion. These are all 100% organic, natural pesticides that you can use. So,
Exactly, like marigolds.
yes,
Uh,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
all of that.
But don't give away,
What we're trying
the,
not to.
the
I'm
the
trying not
shop.
to.
Okay, don't give away the cart. All right, look, this is a promotional. This is what the following is a paid promotional by Quest United Africa. No, for real. Look, this is what our family here is doing to provide the information, and it's not don't look at it as, and I have to tell people, stop looking at these as, oh, it's going to cost me. No, look at
Mm-hmm.
it as, this is an investment of
Investment.
knowledge.
exactly.
It's an
This is an
investment.
investment of knowledge. Because what are you going to do if you don't have anything to eat and all you have
Mm-hmm.
left is, your pots that you've been growing and how to just get the basics? Well, guess what? Your investment of knowledge will be for others to be able to then see you as a valuable resource. Oh man, how did you grow that? What did you do? Look, I
Mm-hmm.
know this, and this. This is what I learned last year. In case you all didn't know, things are starting to get a little bit crazier throughout the world.
Yes.
Take the time right now and learn
Woo.
a few things.
Yes, it is.
I'm about to reinvest in my my little
Regarding.
patio garden. And I'm being dead serious. Because why? Because you don't know what's on the grocery stores. You don't know what's going to be on the shelves. Do you think that the flooding in Houston is going to be a good thing for agriculture?
Ooh-wee.
Probably not.
No.
Do you think that all the storms and everything else that's been ripping through the Midwest from Beryl is going to be a good thing? No, it's not. And that just started early in this season. So, what do you think it's going to look like when granaries and other things get messed up even more? They've been messed up. They're getting caught on fire. All this subterfuge, all this sabotage that's happening here in the United States, it's happening to do what? To cut off food supply. Whether they're planning for it or not, I don't know, but it's happening. So we need to be and take responsibility to allow for the time needed to gain some knowledge. Hosea 4 and 6 says, my people are what? Destroyed for a lack of
Lack of
knowledge.
knowledge.
That's
Yes.
what do we want to do? Oh, well, I just want to have somebody else take care of me. Is that what the word says? My brother is going to take care of me so I can be lazy. No, the word says is what? A man that does what? That
Doesn't work.
has
Does not
that,
work.
that doesn't work does what?
Does
Goes
not.
what?
Does not eat.
Does
Does
That's
not.
not
it.
eat.
That's right.
Oh, but I've been working all day. I've been, doing this. I'll go to my job, my 9 to 5, and good. But what happens when your grocery store says we don't have anything? Those times are going to be quickly approaching because they're already trying to tell you that there's food shortages. So what does that mean? We were saying that, what, 2, 3 years ago. Now these white folks are saying it.
Yes.
They're talking about it. They're reporting on it. Oh, there's food shortages. There's food shortages.
And
When
the
I was,
expensiveness
go
of
ahead.
food nowadays. Why not subsidize that with things that you grow?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Growing. Yeah, it's a cost, to get things set up. But let me tell you, your cost is far. You get the payback, and really, in most times, in less than 60 days, you get the
Mm-hmm.
payback. And then on top of that, when you have non-GMO seeds, you can do what? Keep the seeds,
Yes.
because you never know what those seeds will be looking like. Your seeds may be the WMDs. I got your WMD. I got it in cucumber. I got it in tomatoes, carrot seeds.
Mm.
Man, you're gonna be a seed pusher, man.
Well, also to just talk about what Brother Karras was saying,
You need some
if you
seeds,
live in
man. Look. Holla at me at the back here. Take a walk with me, homie. Take a walk with me, brother. Let's talk about it. What seeds you want, man? Have your little toothpick in your mouth. Man, he's talking about seeds. Now, I don't know what you're talking about. What type
Right.
of seeds you want?
if you live in the Northeast where you're used to snowstorms, or down in South Florida with hurricanes, you know that the stores only have a 3-day supply of food.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah, that's sad. That should tell you something right there.
Yeah.
Put your hands to the plow, you know?
I'm
Yeah.
calling the state on you. You were seed gouging.
We need to learn to be self-sufficient.
We do. Oh my goodness.
It's very important
It's
not to
critical.
sit up there leaning on the government
Right.
and big pharma. I mean, I'm sorry, but the large companies to feed us.
Because then when you're able to feed yourself, then you can start feeding others.
Others. Yes.
You're
That's
able to feed others.
mhm. That's why healthy soil is so important. Biodiversity will help sustain your land for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I
Insect, yeah, all of that. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
and I have to go back to Ariel and the retail side of things where you'll be able to buy tinctures and um
Yeah,
what
so we have I think about 4 tinctures coming, and a few syrups, teas, and salves coming a little later on. These are things that I formulate myself as a clinical herbalist, with my own alcohol percentages, ratios, everything. And it's a 6-week process to make sure that everything's set in there. So yeah, we will be having, I believe, echinacea, burdock root, and a few adaptogen herbs, which help the body to adapt to stress. Keyword adaptogen. So yeah, those will be on Nature's Legacy Garden for people to purchase.
And folks, I'm going to tell you this: the rule of thumb here is never get high on your own burdock supply. So, I'm feeling good with that burdock root, boy. I think what's extra concentrated. What they got in there?
That's the key. Yep.
Well, shalom, everyone. I have to drop off. I just want to say thank you for coming on as I exit, and we appreciate all of the support from the volunteers. This for the volunteers and the fundraising efforts from our community, and we'll be back with more. This is been a successful week, and we like the way it went, and we hope to come on again and do the same thing.
Yep, every quarter, right? Isn't that what we're looking at? Every quarter, isn't it? Right, right.
Yeah, every quarter.
Thank you, Sister Princess. Thank you so much.
All right. Yeah. With that, let's talk about. We'll have final thoughts, and then we'll close this on out so we can have our folks jump on this and and sign up. Look, this is. I'm going to tell you, this to me is invaluable. You have a lot of folks that do the prepping and all this other stuff. Buy your weapons, buy your guns. Nah, listen, buy your food, grow your food, because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you this: if you're hungry, your gun ain't going to be worth nothing.
Amen.
People don't tell you about that attrition rate. If you're hungry, guess what? How are you going to even be able to point your weapon at a target when you're so hungry you can't even see? People don't talk about that.
No, they don't.
You ever been so hungry that you can't even look straight? A lot of people don't realize that. Yeah, you can get so hungry you're not even able to concentrate and focus. And that hurts. They used to do that to us all the time in the military. All right, we're going to do this training. And then they would do what? They'd go for about a good 3-4 days. They strip you down to just the bare nutrients so you didn't die. But they would make sure that your body would yearn the nutrients. And when your body was trying to yearn the nutrients, trying to do training, trying to do live fire exercises to actually try to hit a target, they knew that you would not be able to really achieve successfully. So guess what? Your rounds that you're firing out your weapon, it's not going to hit the target. And you will only have like maybe 20 to 30%. All the other targets are just going to be flying here, there, and everywhere, because your body, if it can't respond to what your mind is saying because you're nutrient deprived, what good is your weapons? A lot of those prepping channels don't tell you that. And yeah, you're going to trade that gun for some food. Because once your stomach starts talking to you, like, man, I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Guns and bullets don't mean nothing.
Right.
I got that ball. I got that balls canned beans. How much is that? How much is your gun worth?
Yeah. Where's the bread?
Exactly. Y'all don't really even understand this. Look, this is going to be about 6 ounces worth of gold. 6 ounces worth of gold. Yep. Can you eat your gold? Nope. I appreciate it. I can now gold plate the gun.
Right.
Oh, all right. So final thoughts, comments.
Don't forget to go to Quest to Unite Africa and sign up through the affiliate link so they can get half the proceeds. And I'd just like to personally thank Quest to Unite Africa for promoting us, to getting involved with us. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here. And I know this is the Most High's organization. And I just want to say thank you to all the people in the chat and all those that are going to sign up and who have signed up. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sister Coco G.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you once again, Quest, for all that you are doing for Nature's Legacy Garden. like Sister Coco said, if it was without you promoting this, we would, still be where we're at. And so we thank you so much for that. Also, people need to understand food is a commodity and soil is life. And so, please join these classes because we will make sure that you get the information that you need, the certification that you need, so that you can take that knowledge and share it with others. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Sister Ashley. Brother Fashionable.
Well, I would like to say that during our show we had a sign up, so that's always an amazing thing. And we just want to say thank you again to everyone, and just to know that it is going to be something that is going to benefit you for years to come.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So let me tell you this. A lot of folks may not have caught this. Classes start July 22nd. Classes start July 22nd. So, family, you don't have much time. And the good thing is, honestly, you really do need to start it. You need to start it right now. While we're in the middle of this growing season, get things started, please, because we don't know how much time we truly have left. We don't know how crazy things are going to get. You have a president introducing um, Putin instead of Zelensky at a NATO summit. It may be crazy,
Sorry.
but that's symptomatic of how crazy things are going to get. So when people say, oh, it's not going to matter, oh, it matters now. These are the things that matter because you don't know what's waiting in the wings. You don't. So now's the time. If you weren't serious about stuff, I say you got to get serious. And on that note of being serious, Sister Ashonda is going to be doing the 714 prayer. 714 prayer. That's going to be this Sunday. I believe she said at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I would say please visit her channel. This is the time, family. But part of prayer is receiving wisdom and instruction from the Most High. And part of that is being obedient. Obedience is better than sacrifice. I pray that you all pray about attending this class, and I pray that you do attend it. Because honestly, you never know the resources that the Most High is giving us that we have to take advantage of. We absolutely have to. So with that said, thank you everyone on the panel. Thank you to all of our Quest to Unite Africa volunteers. Thank you to all of our supporters. Thank you, family, as we are closing up this fundraising week. We appreciate your gifts. We appreciate your prayers as we are doing awesome and amazing things on the continent. So with that said, family, Most High willing, I'll be back on Covenant Awakenings on Monday because we have a week in review that we have to talk about. Oh my goodness. And this week hasn't even finished yet. I'm praying that it's not too late to get to that class by July 22nd. we may be having to just do these classes, on the continent at whatever refugee center we're going to be located at. That may be the case. I'm just saying. But no, family. Listen, it's on the Most High's will. So with that, again, thank you everyone, and have a blessed and awesome week, especially on this Shabbat. Reach on out to your friends. Reach on out to your family. And again, pray for all those that they may receive the understanding and love of Yahushua HaMashiach. So with that said, family, shalom, salama, siyemi, shalom, peace and blessings, Yasharel.